Mesa lining up the start today in a bullpen day that'll feature some familiar names. Jordan Romano, Nate Pearson. Probably will get a look at one of the newer guys in camp that the Blue Jays are very interested in, Luke Bard, the brother of Daniel Bard, lining up the bullpen day here in Dunedin. Mesa working on Josh Donaldson. Got a nice round of applause during the lineup introductions. Got a nice round of applause.
Home runs and 100 RBIs, and he won that MVP in 2015, of course.
3-year deal with the New York.
And it skipped right past him into center.
John. 6-year start to his major league career with the Texas Rangers. Mesa comes set. All eyes on that timer as it twists down. And this is the first for the Blue Jays as we watch the disengagement rule. This is something the umpires will watch and the pitchers, batters, and base runners all have to be aware of.
Yeah, it's a rule that's probably going to be scrutinized closer than any rule in the game. It's the disengagement. They have to record an out. So it's going to be a challenge for pitchers. Just going to have to change their thinking a little bit, and you can't give that calling card toss to first base. We've seen it for years where they just flip it over. They're able to keep it fair down into the right field corner. Of course, in spring training.
Worked himself over the last couple of seasons up the prospect rankings with New York. Even count of 1-1 strike. Buck, this is the time of year we focus a lot on the starting pitchers and their pitch count as a reliever. At Tim Mesa going out here trying to get one and done.
Of getting reps under your belt now in the spring.
Tapped away foul at the plate. Mesa in front 1-2.
Mesa held weight.
Just a little bit high. Even count.
Long arm, and they didn't hit much off him. Just 230 for the season.
Led the New York Yankee farmhands with 11 victories, posted a very strong earned run average that was best in the system, just a couple of ticks under 3. He works on Whit Merrifield here in the first inning. Bo Bichette and then Vladimir Guerrero Jr. set to follow. Whit was acquired from the Kansas City Royals midway through last season, played 44 games with Toronto after 7 seasons in the lineup every day with the Kansas City Royals.
Confident about his own skills and what he can do. Different. They don't have Teoscar Hernandez and his power, but you're going to see a lot of extra base hits and
about being aggressive on the bases, and Whit loves to swipe third base. Bo takes a first pitch strike. The coaching staff to say, hey, give our guys some tips. What are you looking for when you get your secondary lead away from second base when you make the decision to go?
Yeah, there's so many things that base running will do.
Help the Blue Jays come from behind and knock off Pittsburgh 9-7 on Saturday afternoon. Vladdy set the bar so high 2 seasons ago. 48 home runs, tied for the major league. Different offensive categories. He'll be 24 years old by opening day.
Impressive early on, but he's got a lot of upside left.
Vladdy just takes low.
Vladdy is in a real good spot to help lead this team back to the postseason.
67 extra base hits. A 2-down runner at second after the Merrifield leadoff double. Here's Matt Chapman. In Florida, continued his workout program. Tim Mesa was in town 3 weeks before pitchers and catchers reported. So the bulk of the big league arms that you expect to be in the bullpen have been here and basically full throttle when pitchers and catchers.
Matt Chapman's made some subtle adjustments to his hitting approach. He's going to try to cut down the strikeouts and be a more productive hitter, especially in these situations with runners in scoring position.
27 home runs a season ago for Chapman. He was very baseman, but he wants to get it going sooner. I was asking Guillermo Martinez, the hitting coach of the Blues.
Here's what it means is to cut down your swing. Don't think so much about doing damage.
The 2-2
season a year ago, 64 innings and a very good ERA.
73 strikeouts a season ago for Romano.
catcher's in position as long as he's in the catcher's box directly behind home plate. A veteran catcher, catch first kind of catcher, and he fights off this mission of your coaching staff, and that started long before spring training began. But what types of things were you concerned about with your meetings with the coaches?
With the cutter last year, which is just a few miles an hour off of his heater, and he's kind of added in that slider a little bit slower, so two shapes of breaking ball.
Yet Vladimir Guerrero Jr., the top third of the lineup here in the third. Number 4 spot in the order for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, John Snyder likes him in both of those spots because of his plate discipline and his ability to hit with 2 strikes. And it'll be interesting to see how many different lineups we see before the Josh Donaldson, their third baseman, but in this spring training, especially because of the World Baseball,
Figure out how to manipulate by the step off, and that's why Major League Baseball said, hey, we're not going to allow you too many times.
you've got to concentrate on getting to the front side of that base if you're hustling down the first baseline. So that should make a little bit of a difference.
This is Rainer Nunez, who possesses some of the best power right now.
In Republic.
The regulars take the rest of the afternoon off. They'll get ready for play if they're making the trip down to Venice for tomorrow's match.
For me, Chris Bassett is the epitome of pitching. He has 6 pitches and he goes out there and he competes. And Matt
They know with this balanced schedule there is plenty for the taking to make a run at the division this year.
Now the Blue Jays
Starts behind 1 ball and no strikes. It is very early in camp. Selection from the New York Mets a couple of years ago. Has a really big arm out in right field.